Okay, guys, we're going to look at business in the 1920s and how business booms. I mean, this is the Roaring 20s. This is a period where life is a lot different for a lot of people, and a lot of it has to do with what's happening in the business world. There's an availability of money that the country had never seen before, and a prosperity that was unique to the 1920s and other time periods as well. But we see a big boost in the. Coolidge is the president. Uh, the uh, the previous president, Warren G. Harding, he winds up dying in 1923. He just drops dead, no assassination or anything like that, but he continues that process of uh, presidents that we elect in 0 years dying. This continues. This is 1920, 1940. We have Franklin Roosevelt. Then 1960, we have John F. Kennedy, and then that gets broken up. So Coolidge wins the 1924 election. So we have 8 years of a Republican in office. And Coolidge's approach to government is what's called laissez-faire. And this is a very hands-off approach, in particular towards business. Think of this as like, instead of like laissez-faire, like lazy government. It's just a lazy form of government that, where the government really, it keeps its hands out of the way of big business. Now, one of the aspects of Coolidge's economy is the lower taxes and letting people keep more of their own money. Lowering taxes. Taxes are very, very high in the 1920s, and Coolidge is about bringing those tax rates down. So, and he had a Secretary of Treasury, Andrew Mellon, who really orchestrated this. And they also instituted high tariffs, like we talked about yesterday, high tariffs to protect American products. And Coolidge was very famous for saying the business of America is business. Just getting at the idea that, when we look at what the United States is about, it's about business, it's about growth, it's about entrepreneurship and things of that nature. Now, one of the things that helped boom the economy was the automobile. And Henry Ford is the creator of the Model T, which became the most popular and easiest brand to make. He made the car affordable to most Americans. He used the assembly line, the moving assembly line in particular. And this is the key to business, guys. He's able to make it faster, cheaper, and that brings down the price dramatically, and it makes it more affordable for people. This allows new roads to be built, because now we're going to drive more places. But one of the real amazing things about the automobile is not just the business the automobile does and the amount of money that gets made off the automobile, but the different things that the automobile creates. And it creates different new businesses outside of its own industry. So you have gas stations become needed, and repair shops, and motels are even a thing that happen now because people want a place to stop while they're on the road instead of driving all through the night. But this also creates what's known as urban sprawl. Now people can live outside the cities and stretch into the suburbs. This also makes people take a lot more vacations, people go shopping more, and entertainment gets much, much easier. So that's the automobile and all of the things that are important about the automobile. Electrical conveniences increase. Alternating electrical current makes it possible to power more homes outside of cities. So now, we can get a different kind of current. Direct current was what Thomas Edison invented. Alternating current, a guy named Tesla perfects, and this is a much more powerful form of electricity, and one that allows electricity to spread further and further. A lot of new conveniences, though. Irons, refrigerators, toasters, vacuums, all of these things make life a lot easier, makes life a lot simpler. We can, do a lot more things now with this. We don't have to go shopping as often. We can buy food that lasts for a few days because we can put it in the refrigerator, where we used to not have that option. Women have more free time for charity and for their own leisure. And with so many new products, advertisers begin to study how to make this appeal to people. How do we get people to buy these things? And a good example of the power of advertising is there was a very famous radio advertisement, "Say It with Flowers." and flower sales double after this ad goes in. People, men that might be sitting, in their office or driving home, they hear that ad and think, you know what, I will get my wife flowers today. And the radio plays a significant role in this. It creates a larger audience for advertisers, and it makes a much bigger impact for a lot of people. The other thing people were able to do is they were also able to buy more because credit becomes more available. People could use the installment plan. They could buy now and pay later. And that's something a lot of Americans like to do. Everybody does it. I do it. Your parents, I'm sure, do it. You just have to be smart about how much of that you actually use. Banks would provide money at low interest rates as well. That was another key to it. If interest rates are really high, people aren't going to get as much, aren't going to take loans out because they become harder and harder to pay off. But buying becomes really easy and really convenient, this type of buying, and people take it too far. And wealth is very artificially being created, and people are buying things without actually earning the ability to buy it. And that's a dangerous thing.